He's a good friend. I mean, he's just a good person. He really cares. He really cares about me, and I just love him to death.
She's like my other half. Like, we fill each other's gaps.
I am Gary.
And I'm Kiris.
And this is our testimonial about Vows to Keep. So first we want to give you a glimpse into life before Vows to Keep and what our marriage was like. So first of all, there was a whole lot of us being off in our own corners.
There was also a lot of arguing and fighting, and no intimacy, no sex.
We were miserable. I definitely felt like I wanted out of the marriage, and I felt like I had my mind made up. I even wrote out this list about why this marriage is not working and we're not compatible.
And I remember that Gary and I signed a covenant that talked about keeping our vows. And so that was the clue that helped me find Vows to Keep. And so I found David and Tracy's podcast, and I started listening to it, and I thought, wow, that was the beginning of our help from Vows to Keep.
As I've kind of suggested, I was not looking for any kind of fix-it situation. We had tried a couple of different counseling services, and they kind of gave you a little feel good in the moment and maybe a short while after, but you ended up kind of right back where you were. And so I was really sullied on anything that was like marriage counseling. When Kiris came and said, would you do this? And I actually said yes. And honestly, I'm thinking, well, when the story is told, I at least want to be able to have it written, Gary tried. But I had it in my mind, I'm gonna go show up once and I can check that box. It wasn't what I expected, and I felt very comfortable, and I felt the tension start to just disseminate. Great connection, a great conversation, and just some honest, real talk. We connected weekly, and there were some times when it was just the four of us. Sometimes we met separately, man to man, woman to woman. There was some homework, there was some reading, and some things to think about and some questions to respond to. I was concerned that thou shalt this and thou shalt, a lot of finger wagging and there's this term Bible thumping and all that kind of stuff, and I would be made to feel like, oh, you're this terrible husband, and it wasn't like that. I owe it to Kiris, and I'm really thankful that she found Vows to Keep, and it was just not like anything else. So, if you're watching this and you might be thinking, oh goodness, it's just, another one of those marriage counseling services that, is going to cost, hundreds and thousands of dollars and end up not working. Not that at all. Not at all. It's special.
And let me tell you this, it wasn't easy. Now, there are things that I was required to do that until I decided to do these things, that is when things began to change. So by no means is this some rags to riches story.
You got to be honest with yourself, honest with your spouse. You got to come clean. It's something that you need to want. You need to listen to God and take the advice of the couple that you're working with. And I could tell that they were, personally vested in saving our marriage and saving marriages in general. If you're thinking you can try this on your own, here's the challenge. It's like when you're married, when you're both on 10, as far as being fed up and mad and whatnot. When you're on 10, it's like you're not hearing each other, nothing's getting through. You need a process to kind of ratchet it on down. And once you do that, then that's when the miracles happen.
When I think about the fact that, I'm not a perfect human being, and Jesus Christ died for my sins and I'm called to forgive, that just it hits me in the gut. We celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary this past April of 2021. December of 2020 is when we were talking about ending it all.
Just basically wanted to thank again Vows to Keep.
Keep up the good work that you're doing. You know, this is kingdom work.